U.S. Congressman Gene Taylor was in the air with the U.S. Coast Guard today surveying the oil slick. Has just returned less than an hour ago, and we have Congressman Taylor here in the studio with the very latest on what he saw today. Congressman Taylor, thanks for joining us. You flew at about 1,000 feet, went out, north of the Chandelier Islands?
We went all the way to the mouth of the Mississippi River over Southwest Pass, so we flew over the site of the accident. There were 4 drilling ships on site now, in addition to a very large drilling rig. And I think that what I want people to know is this isn't Katrina. This is not Armageddon. I did this for the Coast Guard many years ago. Yeah, it's bad, and it's terrible that there's a spill out there, but I would remind people that the oil is 20 miles from any marsh. It's more than 20 miles from Chandelier. It is not in the Mississippi Sound yet. And remember that it has been flowing for a number of days now. So and we were up there with Dr. Bill Walker from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, and one of the things that he pointed out correctly is that the farther you get from the spill, that chocolate milk-looking spill starts breaking up into smaller pieces, and it looks, for someone that has ever had diesel fuel in their bilge and pumped it overboard, it gets looking more and more like diesel fuel the farther away you get from it, and then it breaks up.
Did you see pretty much what we're seeing in this video right here? Because this video is from a couple days ago.
Right, and again, that's the point I want to emphasize is you see a heck of a lot more of a sheen than that. That's probably less than 10% of the spill looks like that. Most of it looks more like almost like a diesel fuel spill sheen. But the good news is, after this many days, it is not yet in the coastal marshes where the juvenile shrimp are. So, and it is tending to break up naturally. And there are the 4 drilling rigs, on site. And I want people to know that the entire Department of Defense, everyone in the Department of Defense, is now, involved in this. I was on the phone with Admiral Ruffhead yesterday, Chief of Naval Operations. He has made the Navy's deep sea resources available to BP. And Thad Allen is an extremely capable Coast Guard.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. You're relieved to understand that really one of the heroes of Katrina, pretty late in the game, but still one of the heroes, Admiral Allen now being in charge. Was that good news?
That's good news. And there's another captain I worked with very closely after Katrina by the name of Ed Stanton, who's originally from Waveland, who is also very, very much involved in this, and he's also an extremely capable officer. So, it's great that Ocean Springs putting the boom out. It's great that DMR put the boom across the mouth of the bay. And again, it's subject to change. This is what it looked like at 3 o'clock today. And the pipeline may break during the night, and it may get worse. But as of right now, it was not nearly as bad as I expected it to be.
As we look for pieces of optimism, and you've provided us with some, I still have to say this is kind of inconsistent, your characterization, with some of the doomsday reports that we've been hearing about.
David, and that's why I'm here, because I've had a lot of people stop me in Bay St. Louis who, it almost strikes me as the day after Katrina, they're that concerned, and again, I wish it never happened. Yeah, it's bad out there, but it's not right on our shore. It's more than 20 miles from the nearest marsh. It is outside of Chandelier. It is not inside the barrier islands yet. And it is tending to break up the farther you get from the source, and all of those are good things.
It was announced today that President Obama will be making a visit to the Gulf Coast tomorrow. Are you glad that the Obama administration is getting very engaged?
Sure, because I had to see it. And I'm very, very grateful that the Coast Guard took me up there. And again, I'm 1,000 feet up in the air. I'm not on the water, so I'm not quite getting the full effect of it. But the fact of the matter is there are a lot of resources out there. There are a lot more resources being made available as we speak. That I do think the nation is doing everything we can. And we're doing this in a teaming arrangement. And like any good team, we're letting all the different players do what they do best. And so those things that BP can bring to the table, we're letting them do that. The things the private sector can bring to the table, we're letting them do that. The things the military can do for us, we're letting them do their part. And so, again, I do think that we're paying attention to this. People, obviously, we love our environment down here. We don't want to lose our seafood industry. We don't want to lose our tourism. But I do think that all the things that can be done are being done.
All righty. Congressman Gene Taylor, thanks for being with us on this one-hour edition of the news.